welcome back to my channel. I'm here today in an oversized jumper, a top knot, and a very strange background. I'm not sure how to set up my new bookcase yet for filming. There'll be lots of different angles in my backgrounds at the minute. Anyway, thank you for clicking on this video because today I'm doing something I've not actually done before. That's an ebook book haul. So usually I predominantly buy physical books. But over the course of lockdown and kind of quarantine in the UK, I've not been able to buy as many books, like physical books, as I wanted to. So I have been stocking up my Kindle for the last few months. And what I found is that my habits around buying books on Kindle are very different to how I buy physical books, in the sense that I am a lot more impulsive when it comes to buying ebooks because the price point is so much cheaper. A lot of them are 99p, you know, whether they're like in the Kindle daily deal or whatever, Kindle monthly deal. There's so many deals. So I have been going a bit crazy in terms of my buying habits on my Kindle. Okay, so the first book I actually bought at the start of lockdown, there are a few books that were 99p and I just had to snap them up. The first book is The Flat Share by Beth O'Leary. This is a contemporary romantic fiction novel. It is adult, it is not YA. Basically, I have heard so many things about this book where I was just like, I need to read it, guys. I just needed to get it on my Kindle. And for some reason I just hadn't bought the physical book, so I thought this is the perfect time to actually read this book when it's at such a low price point. So this is about two people who, I think they live in London, but basically they have to share a bed in like their London flat because like it's so cheap and you know, they wouldn't be able to afford living otherwise. So one of them gets it during the day and the other one gets it during the night, and I think they like never meet. And then they end up falling in love. So I was like, yeah, that sounds awesome. I am down for that. Then I downloaded A Torch Against the Night by Sabaa Tahir. So I don't know why I downloaded this, as I have a proof copy like here. I don't know if you can see it. I don't know why I downloaded this, guys. I think it was 99p. And at the point where I downloaded it, I actually think I was meaning to continue with the series, An Ember in the Ashes series, and I didn't have access to my physical books then. So I think that's why I downloaded it, because I was like, I just want to keep going and reading it, but I don't have access to the proof that I have behind me. So I don't know if I'm going to read this on Kindle or if I'll read the physical proof. It's a few years old now. I still haven't completed this series, so I really want to kind of plow on with that. And then I downloaded Pretending by Holly Bourne. So this is, Holly Bourne's obviously a YA author and she writes really great contemporary, often like issues-led YA novels, but she started writing adult, kind of relatable, kind of like romance novels as well. But I think this is about like living your life on social media and like pretending to be someone you've not, so trying to be perfect, which a lot of us can probably relate to. So I wanted to buy that one just because I just thought it would be really relatable and I've been hearing a lot of great things about it. So I downloaded that one. The next book I downloaded because I am planning to do a video on this eventually. I just need to get my butt in gear and read the books I need to film the video on. But I downloaded a load of pirate YA novels because I am writing a kind of YA pirate novel and I kind of wanted to see what else was out there in terms of like the competition, I guess. Not that I think mine will ever be published because God knows when I'll finish it, guys. I haven't written in months. So I wanted to kind of download other pirate YA novels to just really see what different tropes were used and kind of just like enjoy them, because I'm writing this novel for a reason that I bloody love a pirate novel. So I got These Rebel Waves by Sarah Rash, I think that's how you pronounce her name. And then I got Seafire by Natalie C. Parker, both of them about pirates, so I'm down to read those. The next one I downloaded was The Kiss Quotient by Helen Huang. I have seen this book everywhere. A lot of people talk about it as being one of their favourite romance novels. So I was like, yes, I need this in my life. It was reduced on Kindle and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna do it. The next one I got was The Bridgetons, The Duke and I by Julia Quinn. So this is the first book in the Bridgetons series by Julia Quinn, soon to be on Netflix, guys. I don't know like when it's coming, but it's a kind of Regency romance series that is coming to Netflix very soon. So I wanted to download the first in the series by Julia Quinn to read, and I'm hoping I'll really love it so I can like really enjoy the Netflix show. The next book I bought, so at this stage, we're literally like reliving my lockdown experience because the next stage is the non-fiction. So I got Darren Greatly by Brene Brown. Brene Brown I've heard a load of great things about, and I kind of like, a load of people are talking about Darren Greatly, and basically it's about how being vulnerable can change the way you live. So, you know, truly letting yourself be vulnerable in certain situations can transform your life. So I was like, damn to read that. I was like, yes, that sounds awesome. The next book I got was Stop People Pleasing by Patrick King. People pleaser here, so I was like, yep, I think I need to kind of read up on that. And I think at this time, I also got Atomic Habits by James Clear. I loved that book. That was a book about changing your habits and basically understanding habits and how to, you know, get rid of your bad ones and create new ones which are better for you, essentially. I also downloaded Out of Love by Hazel Hayes. Obviously, Hazel is a YouTuber here on YouTube, and she has written a novel called Out of Love, which is about kind of like modern romance and dating. So I was really interested in that, and I want to see how this novel kind of like, I don't know, just how Hazel writes, and I was really intrigued by it. The next book I bought was Coming Undone, a memoir by Terry White. So basically this is about Terry White herself. It is a memoir, and she has the kind of job that everyone envies. She is one of the top women in US media, and she's literally bossing it at work. But then behind the scenes, her mental health is rapidly unraveling. And it's about how she ends up in a psychiatric ward and has to kind of get out of that dark space in her life. And this just sounds fascinating to me, and I love reading difficult human stories and how people overcame really dark things that happened to them. So I think a lot of us can like find hope and inspiration in that, and I think this non-fiction book sounds awesome. Also in the vein of non-fiction, I bought The Chimp Paradox by Dr. Steve Peters. I don't know a lot about this book, and I don't really know why I bought it. Basically self-help, but I don't know why I bought this. Maybe it was on offer on like the Kindle store. Guys, I have no idea. This is what I mean. It's like I have bought a load of books which I don't even need, probably won't read, and I'm just lost. The next book I bought was Cheryl Strayed's Tiny Beautiful Things. So I'm so glad that I bought this book because I read it and absolutely fell in love. This is a non-fiction book. Again, I went through such a non-fiction phase a few months back. But basically it is Cheryl Strayed's life advice column. So Cheryl Strayed used to write for a website where she wrote a column called Dear Sugar. So people would write into her and she would answer back, basically. It was kind of like an agony aunt column. And then she has basically compiled all her best questions and answers into this non-fiction book called Tiny Beautiful Things. It just changes like your mindset on everything. I absolutely loved it. And it is just like one of my favourite non-fiction books now. So thank you to Cheryl Strayed for being a genius, basically. The next book I ordered on my Kindle was A Song of Race and Ruin by Roseanne A. Brown. Been meaning to read this book for months now, since it came out. I've been hearing countless incredible things. It is an epic fantasy novel inspired by West African folklore. It is about a queen and I believe a prince. And I think they basically like have this like love-hate relationship, but they both want to kill each other for their own personal reasons. Sounds so up my street, but I just haven't read it yet. It is, however, on my TBR for August, so I'm hoping I will get around to reading this very soon. Another book I bought, I was obviously going down a fantasy kick, was Red Rising by Pierce Brown. I have heard so many things about this book over the years. I don't really know what it's about. I think it's like dystopian or post-apocalyptic, but I remember when this came out and everybody was freaking out over it. And I just don't know why I haven't read this yet, and I think I downloaded it because I was after a kind of like fantasy dystopian style novel, and I saw that this was reduced as well in the Kindle store. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna try Red Rising. Haven't read it yet, but I am intrigued. Let me know down in the comments if you think I should read this book, because I don't know, there are so many books here I need to read. I need you guys to help me like filter out the bad ones. I also bought 2 Georgette Heyer novels. I think again these were kind of pretty cheap on the Kindle store, and I've been meaning to read Georgette Heyer for quite a while now. So she is I want to say that she was writing during like the Victorian or Edwardian times, but she wrote about like Regency England. I don't know if that's right, but that's what I think that's right. Anyway, I downloaded Frederica by Georgette Heyer and I downloaded False Colours. So basically these are both romance novels, Regency romance novels, and Georgette Heyer is one of like the most beloved authors writing in that genre. So I'm really, really keen to read Georgette Heyer at some point. I think I've got like one of her books behind me. There's like a book called The Grand Sophie here. So I've already started collecting her works and I just haven't read any. So guys, if you are interested in Regency romance and you've read Georgette Heyer, let me know what you think and if it's worth me picking her up. And then finally, we're coming towards the end of this like Kindle book haul. I bought The Witchfinder's Sister by Beth Underdown. This, I believe, is historical fiction. It was really, really popular a few years ago. I remember it kind of really taking off. But it's supposed to be quite spooky as well, quite like thrillery, and of course it is historical fiction. So I'm all for that. It sounds awesome to me. And then finally, I got The Star-Touched Queen by Roshani Chokshi. So I think this was in my July TBR video. I really wanted to read this last month and just didn't get around to reading it. So hopefully I might get a chance to read it this month or in September, but I'm just desperate to read this. I downloaded it because I think it was, again, reduced, but it just looked like my type of thing. I also think the cover is stunning. I don't know if you can see that, but like, yes, I'm into it. This is kind of like a mythological retelling, I think, and features a lot of romance, which I'm always down for. It sounds well up my street. So hopefully I will get around to reading that at some point. But guys, I think that's actually it for my Kindle ebook haul. Thank you so much for watching, and I appreciate this was a little bit of a different video. So if you did enjoy it, please do give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe, and let me know if you want more ebook hauls. I know they're not as popular, I don't think, as physical book hauls. You can't see the books that I'm hauling, but hopefully it's still fun and we're saving shelf space, which is the most important. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching this video and I'll see you very soon in my next one. Bye!